This is Fireside Chats with Ethan and Caetano.
This is the Fireside Chat podcast. I'm Caetano.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is episode 3, Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved is in quotations because they're kinda solved.
Yeah. Thank you to Little Rebel for suggesting this in the last episode in the comments. Remember, if you have any topics you want us to talk about, suggest them in our YouTube and email us at candefireside@gmail.com. And remember to follow us on our Instagram and our SoundCloud, and which are all in the description if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're on SoundCloud, go to our website and check us out there. We can they have links there to everything. Now, me and Ethan, we just made our own custom mugs. They're very nice. They're special to us. These ones are just special to to us when we're recording.
They have our names and stuff.
Yep, it says with Ethan Caetano. It's got our logo. It's orange and white. And we also have a nice notebook with our logo on it. But we were wondering, like, if you guys are interested in mugs, they'll be different. Ours are special to us, but if you guys are interested in anything like shirts, hats, anything, notebooks, mugs. Mugs would be cool because it's more traditional to the podcast.
Fireside Chat.
Yeah.
Mugs.
So if you're interested in that, comment that below, and maybe we can get that started, and you can buy it. So that'd be really cool. Also, next week is our Halloween special.
Ooh,
very spooky. We're gonna have spooky music and everything.
Yep.
So we need your guys' help to get spooky topics to talk about.
Very spooky. Very spooky. But not like
disgusting or like actually horror spooky.
Yeah.
Like fun spooky.
Yeah.
Halloween spooky.
And stuff that we can talk about for 30 minutes.
Yeah. 25 to 30. We're roughly going around there. Remember, we post every week, and let's get started. Now, since we're doing Unsolved Mysteries today, we decided to choose 2 topics. As you heard from last week's episode, from the clue I gave out, we're doing aliens as one of the topics, and Bermuda Triangle.
Ooh,
very spooky. Well, kind of. Spooky's next week.
Yeah.
So, let's start off with Bermuda Triangle, and then we'll transition into aliens. So, Ethan, he has some facts for us. Let's start.
Kind of. So, I hope a lot of you know that the Bermuda Triangle is like this place, this triangle. It's called the Bermuda Triangle. Obviously, yes.
Tell us more about it.
It's in a region of the northern Atlantic Ocean, and in that place, a bunch of aircrafts and ships have actually disappeared, and we don't really know what happened to them.
Yeah, it's freaky, because I see, not quite often, but sometimes in the news, a story will pop up about a plane or a boat going missing there. And I always wonder, well, what do you think causes that?
Yeah, so let's talk about the causes later. Let's think about, what do you want to do? Do you want to talk about cases in the past, or do you want to talk about like how we think it would happen?
Let's start with cases in the past. So I know that, like, I don't know exact cases. Ethan can look it up right now, but I do know that fairly large, like, ships and airplanes have crashed there. Didn't people suspect that Amelia Earhart crashed in the Bermuda Triangle because no one found her when she didn't come back, obviously. That's how she died. But people do think she, like, something with the Bermuda Triangle, since she did pass it, she has something to do with that. I do know that. And then, like I said, fairly large boats have sunk there. It's pretty crazy. Well, what do you see there?
So, one of the main incidents that I remember from reading about in, like, elementary school was the disappearance of Flight 19, which was a training flight of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared on December 5th, 1945, right around World War II time.
That's weird.
Also, by the way, I'm getting all this stuff from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Obviously, a very, very good source to get all of your information.
Yeah, but what else do you see there?
And the squadron's flight plan was scheduled to take them due east to Fort Lauderdale for 141 miles. And the disappearance is attributed by Navy investigators to navigational error leading to the aircraft running out of fuel. But
Wow.
My question is,
Yeah.
why was there that navigational error? Because there were 5 aircraft, and
They all disappeared at the same time?
yeah.
That's weird. That gets into, like, the theories and stuff like that. Because, like, they all disappeared at the same time. Now, this could be because, like, causes. Weather, obviously, is very crazy over there.
Mhm.
And, I mean, it could have been, like, a hurricane or a crazy storm. They just caught into it, and they happened to all fall
I don't think
roughly
so.
at the same time.
I mean, they would have probably known about the storm. I know this was just World War II, and radar was barely beginning to take a hold on Britain and stuff. But still, like, I feel like they would know about any big storms that would take down the whole entire squadron.
Yeah, well, how do you think they went down then?
Honestly, I have no clue because on the Wikipedia article, it cites fuel, like running out of fuel, and navigational errors. But again, how would 5 aircraft not be able to figure out which way to go? Because
Yeah.
again, planes had been being made ever since before World War One, even with the Kitty Hawk, I think it's called. Wilbur and Arvo Wrights.
Yeah, and that's crazy because, like, that's so long ago, but even now it's still happening. And people really don't know exactly why. Now, I know there's a lot of documentaries out there that like go in depth into this, and we're not going that depth into it. And I know that some of them, like, say, hey, we got confirmed answers, and some of them, like, we don't know. And I don't think we know that much. I mean, I know we know quite much about it, but honestly, it's a mystery.
Okay, so let's start out with the fun stuff. How about we?
Yeah, sure.
So let's see. There are some theories about the the weird losses coming from Atlantis. Let's see. Other writers attribute the events to UFOs. So
we'll get into that in a sec.
Oh yeah,
we'll get into that in a sec.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So these are some more logical, more boring ones. So compass problems are one of the cited phrases in many triangle incidents. Some have theorized that the unusual magnetic. Okay, so there are some have theorized that some weird magnetic anomalies may exist around this place.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure how we haven't figured that out yet. I mean, literally just take a compass into the Bermuda Triangle. But would you really want to go there?
I don't think so.
Anyway, another thing is the Gulf Stream, which is a major surface current primarily driven by the thermohaline circulation. Pardon my pronunciation if I got that wrong. That originates in the Gulf of Mexico and then flows through the Straits of Florida into the North Atlantic. So it's pretty much a river within an ocean, and since it's a liquid, it can carry floating objects. So it says a small plane making a water landing or a boat having engine trouble can be carried away from its reported position by the current. So what do you think about that?
That's a lot. I mean, so like you were saying with the compass, you're saying misdirection because of how crazy it is down there?
No, I'm saying like with this point. Oh wait, are you talking about the compass one?
Yeah, the compass.
So
like I've seen in movies where it just freaks out and it goes like.
Yeah. Honestly, it didn't say if anyone's like taken compasses down there and if they've gone
or
weird.
GPS at least. Yeah. I would think they would lose signal if they go that far in.
I don't think they would.
No.
I don't think that's how physics works.
Nah, probably. Okay, then what do you think? No.
So it also mentioned human error, which is, in my opinion, the most likely reason of why all these disasters happened. Maybe it's a combination of like the psychological effect of being like inside the Bermuda Triangle and just
like
stupid
being
mistakes. Yeah, like oh my gosh,
confused.
this happened? Yeah.
And it's crazy how many people have lost their lives there. I don't think anyone's come back alive. Like a boat's gone. Have they?
Yeah.
There have been survivors?
I'm not sure if there have been survivors of the actual incidents, but I'm pretty sure
people have been there. Obviously, people have been there. Yeah. But I'm saying like from the incidents, from like they're like partners or mates are dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
no
know.
survivors.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Either way, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of theories that go into this, like we just talked about, but some crazier theories. Obviously, like I know people think there's like sea monsters over there. Like, have you heard that?
Yeah,
There's like a
yeah,
big sea
yeah.
monster and like swallows all of them.
Yep.
Or like it just grabs them under. And that one's crazy. Maybe that'd be an interesting topic for the future. But also another theory is aliens. And people think that, aliens are there and they're doing something because the Bermuda Triangle is it's very mysterious.
It's
There
very
are some-
triangular.
Also. But like it's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
The things that go on there and how many like ships and boats have been lost there. And like helicopters too. It's really weird. So I think we should transition now into aliens.
Sure.
Talking about that, why do you think aliens, if this were true, why do you think aliens would have something to do with Bermuda Triangle?
Maybe just experimenting on humans, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Kind of crazy to think about.
And we're not crazy conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, we're not at all. We're just talking about good topics.
It's just
for you
fun
guys
to
listen
talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Aliens. What do you want to get into that?
I don't know.
Well, obviously in the last
There's a lot to talk
podcast we talked about if there are
A
life
bit,
out
yeah.
there. And if you've been listening, we do think there is life out there. I mean, like I'm an
Yeah.
80% chance there is definitely life because there's so many galaxies out there. And I'm sure there's an identical Earth, like I said in the last episode. But I don't want to repeat myself. So what do you think their intentions would be if, let's say, like, not talking if there's aliens out there, let's say there are aliens out there. We meet them. What are their intentions? Good or bad? What do you think?
So, in the history of humanity, it really tends to be the stronger civilization.
It's true.
They conquer the weaker one, and then it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So if the aliens are more technologically and or mentally advanced than us, from what history says, we would be
Wiped out.
we would be kicked on the butt for sure.
But what if they didn't want to destroy us? What if they're kind,
Well, then maybe they could show us their alien technology that somehow got them to Earth.
Yeah. What do you think life would be like, Like, let's say they meet with us and then, like, they make friends and everything. They do a truce. And, like, 100 years in the future from then will be, like a combined society. That'd be really weird to think about, huh?
Yeah. Especially since I'm not really... It's weird.
Yeah. And then who knows from there? You can get more species.
Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's pretty late.
Yeah, but these are fun. They're interesting. So, alien spacecrafts. What do you think they look like? I mean, obviously, like UFOs. You've seen like pictures online what they look like. But
Flying saucers.
Whatever. What is your opinion of what they look like?
So going from a scientific perspective, from our current technology, because we don't know whatever they have. Probably some form of ion propulsion system. I know we launched a spacecraft in I think it was the mid to late 2000s that uses ion propulsion. It's pretty cool. Looks so futuristic. It's like blue coming out of the back of the satellite. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so I think it would use that to propel itself for some, I don't know. And
what shape do you think it would take? What do you think it would look like? Like
I mean,
a rough sketch.
So I feel like it'd be a long cylinder if they want to bring a lot of aliens with themselves. They want to have a long cylinder so people can live on the inside walls. And then they spin it to create artificial gravity.
Yeah.
Because when you, let's say you have a bucket of water, right?
Yeah.
You spin really fast and let your arm hang out, and then the bucket's on the side, but the water doesn't fall out because of the centrifugal force. So they could use that same force.
Oh, cool.
To simulate gravity.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably what they do, unless they have more advanced metals, or I would say materials. But I mean, they could have more advanced materials that we couldn't imagine to have, and it's like you know.
They've still got to follow the laws of physics
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
so I don't really think.
Yeah. Okay, and then I think, like you said, they'd be probably invisible because when you look up to the sky.
What?
Well,
Invisible?
they don't want to see them. So when you look up to the sky, you wouldn't be able to see them, but they're there. You know.
Chances are, if they're coming over, they want us to.
But I mean, if
to
they're
see
like
them.
undercover, like trying to like kidnap people, they don't want us to see them, right?
I guess, yeah. Well then, I don't think they would invest as much into cloaking technology as much as just waiting till nightfall and hoping nobody sees them.
Yeah. And then also, like, there's been a lot of incidents of where, like, people think they got abducted, or, I mean, maybe they did, we don't know. We really don't. But, there's been incidents in, like, forests, anywhere, really. What do you think their intentions are with us? Like, not as a society with, like, Earth, like, just as people. Like, one person. Your opinion.
So, if they're like a galactic civilization that oversees a good portion of the Milky Way, what I think they would do is they would try and take us and then put us into like a simulation, and then just
like
hundreds
Matrix,
of
right?
thousands of simulations, because they might be in the midst of a crisis and they want to see if put under these conditions which way will make them survive.
Okay, that's like one option. Do you have another option? Do you think that it could be?
Experiment.
Obviously, yeah, and that's freaky to think about. And that's
possibly
weird.
Kidnap humans for slaves, because that's what lots of civilizations have done
true.
in the past of Earth. They've just taken the native people and used them for manual labor. So I feel like that could definitely be a possibility.
And what about good intentions? Like, if they're taking one person, what do you think a good intention could be that they're doing with one person?
Trying to figure out a trade route, I guess.
Yeah, maybe like trying to communication with someone, like sending a message, maybe.
Or maybe like trying to be like, hey, we're out here, listen to us.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of sci-fi movies explaining all these different scenarios. Do you have any questions that maybe you'd want me to answer, or any things about aliens that you think would be interesting?
Do you think they'll look like us?
Depends. Like, kind of like what we said in the last episode. There's so many universes out there. It's possible there's like an identical Earth, and because of those same scenarios, it's so unlikely. But it's possible there could be people that look like us, because like even if we had identical Earth, it could evolve differently, and we could look very different.
Oh yeah.
But it's possible, but unlikely. I think if we ever got contact, they would look much different. What do you think they would look like? Right.
So in movies, it's either like the tiny green men with giant eyes and giant heads,
or like gray,
or like really gray, slimy stuff.
I don't know. There's a lot of different versions of what they look like in movies. Men in Black is a good one. Men in Black has a lot of different ones.
And
do you think they'd have any powers? I don't know.
I don't think they'd have powers, but they would definitely have, if they're coming to Earth and we haven't found any life outside of our planet, so they'd be coming from probably pretty far, so they wouldn't have powers per se, but they would definitely have superior technology. And going back to that simulation thing, what I think is that like massive Type 3 galactic civilizations that are facing like, let's say, a massive black hole is coming towards their home planet or whatever, and they're like, okay, we need a supercomputer, and we just need to make a bunch of little tiny simulations, and each of those universes we're gonna of course fast forward a lot, so that way we can actually see what happens. And with that we can look at which decisions we should make to ensure the survival of our species.
Well, what I think is crazy to think about is that like somewhere in the space, there is like a whole like using examples like Star Wars, like there's a whole empire and there's like a whole government across like galaxies. It's because space is so big they haven't gone to us yet. Like maybe our galaxy's so far away from them. But there's like governments and there's like who knows, like super advanced technology, and there's like and it's like normal for like people or aliens there. It's like, oh yeah, there's other planets. I can travel to there anytime. They like, go to vacation to another planet.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about that's happening while we think nothing else is out there.
Honestly, we aren't that far from taking vacations to the moon or Mars or something. Especially with like SpaceX and stuff.
Yeah, flashback to episode 1. And we talked a little more about that. If you want to know a little more about that,
about the future.
Check out episode 1, the future. Yeah, and what about their like weapons? Oh, what do you think they would look like? Like laser guns or something like that. What do you think they look like?
So they probably have probably focused energy weapons like you said, lasers.
Yeah. Do you think there'd be anything like the Predator, like full body suits where they can like turn invisible and like sneak around and stuff like that? I'm sure there is.
Yeah, that's definitely foreseeable because we're already working on like exosuits for soldiers these days.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty cool, actually. Helps them lift a lot more.
Yeah, it gives them kind of like sort of super strength, like more than the average human.
Yeah.
And it's also cool to think about that there's like civilizations less advanced than us.
Oh yeah.
Like we could be like to some people like super advanced, like because I know we're in the next. I saw a video where in the next 100 years we'll be able to like, where we have power or not power, we have control over the planet. Because right now we have like control over the surface, but we don't have control over like the whole planet yet. Like we haven't gone to the core or like gone like this, to like some layers. We only gone through some of the crust.
Oh yeah.
Of the Earth. But in the next hundreds of years, maybe 100, I don't know how advanced we'll get, but like maybe we'll be able to use the core to use for energy. Who knows how that work? That's a good subject to talk about, the Earth and all that.
Okay, so there's like 3 primary ways to identify galactic, well, not galactic, but just civilizations.
Yeah, I think you saw this video too, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So level 1 is just being able to harness all of the energy released by your planet. Second is be able to harness all of the energy released by your home star. And then type 3 is just
like the sun, the home star.
Well, yeah, but like type 3 is just galactic.
So
like
we're almost
your whole galaxy.
level 1. We're almost.
Yeah.
Well, not almost. We have a big civilization that's taken over the Earth.
About a year ago, I think it was like a type 0.7 something. So
that makes sense because we haven't gone to the core yet, and I'm sure soon when we do get to the core. But we were talking about civilizations that'll be way more advanced than us, but there's also probably some that just started.
Oh yeah.
On some planets, bacteria, all that. But also it could be some like I don't know, like we used to be apes. I'm sure. I don't know. But don't get into that. But like I'm sure there's like evolution in other planets, and they're like way in the past, or like 600s or something like that. And they're others. I'm sure other planets are like way back in time because they started later. And also time is different. Time is much different across the universe.
What do you mean?
Because if I go to like a planet that's like light years away from here, an hour there may be like 10 years here.
No.
Well, I mean, across the universe, time is different.
Maybe no.
A little bit.
I think what you're getting confused with is I think it's either general or special relativity, where like the faster you move,
the more time goes by.
Hold on. Oh, I'm so tired. I can't think.
Yeah,
because
I know
like,
what you mean.
let's say you go out for like to travel really really quickly out into interstellar space for a while.
Yeah.
And you have kids. Your kids will be older than you when you get back if you've traveled.
But to you, it won't seem as long, right?
It'll feel like the same length to you, and it'll feel like the same length to them, but it'll just feel to them that you were out for a lot longer than you felt like you were out. So like time doesn't feel like it's going slower for you or everyone else. It's just that, let's say if it takes you 20 years to get there, for them in their position it takes you, let's say, 60 years.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. So yeah, Bermuda Triangle. In conclusion for that, I mean, we don't know what goes on there. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more facts for that one. I'm sure a lot of people know, like, pretty close to what's going on there. And aliens, we have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, who knows? Tomorrow we can meet a whole new species, or
Who
in a
knows?
couple hundred years we'd meet a whole new species. Who knows? Or, you know, maybe we're alone. That's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Either way, it's
Crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, remember, next week, Halloween special.
give us ideas, give us spooky topics.
Spooky topic.
Not too spooky, but just spooky enough.
In the
to be
comments or in our email, which is cnefireside@gmail.com.
Yep.
Remember, follow us on Instagram, go on our website, go on SoundCloud, listen to us there. And and also remember to comment about t-shirts, mugs, notebooks, anything that you think would be cool merch. And so yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks for listening. It's been a great episode.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I did as well.
Yeah, and so yeah, this is the Fireside Chat podcast. I'm Caetano.
I'm Ethan.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.